Mahila, I'm getting ready to try to wake everybody up, okay? So, Countryman God is crossing the celestial plane and he's going to be coming here. So, I want everyone just to acknowledge the fact if you hear the rumblings of your stomach, if you after you have a Han, then you need to go and sit on the potty like Nicki Minaj says. This is not a joke. I do not play around with this stuff. You know, I was never really gross in high school. When I would go by the cafeteria and smell that gross smell of the food, I would get sick to my stomach. And I never shat at school. I always shat at the health park right before swim practice alone in the stalls that weren't the locker room, like the nicer ones, and or that weren't frequently used. So I'm not a gross person. In the songs they say, my old life was disgusting and now I've made it and stuff. And I feel like that right now because I've been forced into this thing. And, but anyway, when you sit on the potty if you hear the rumblings that you ask Jesus to help you, it's connected to Jesus as the Lord of hosts. That it's like Alien and the symbiote and all that. Like he controls the host body, so he'll hear you. And like that's when you know you're in the deal. How do you get the deal? You have spiritual weapons. You have times that you have gone through a 50 or 51. It's all like you've gone through things and that you have a weapon based off that spiritually. So, and that you know the locations of things. You know the addresses where there's buried treasure for you spiritually. So that's how this happens. So I'm going to try to relate that in the message in the flushes. And I'm going to show this that I have. I mentioned George in this. George is my neighbor. Okay, he's from Indiana. Remember, we went over Cherisham and the Indians from India who went to Indiana and their connection to the Kentucky of the Islam girls that were in Kentucky and how they like made it and stuff, and that they were with Krishna and everything, like they were, Indians and from India. So he George works security. He lives at home as well. They moved here like a year and a half, 2 years ago, and live across the street, from Indiana, where there's a Portillo's up on the north side of Indiana. So I'm going to show this, and thank you. Have a good night. I believe that because the Countryman God is coming here, then that's why Sidney Poitier and Betty White and all those deaths are happening, because he's crossing right now, and he's not going to be happy when he gets here. Coming for vengeance. He's been dealing with the aliens across the whole universe. That's part of what my visions are, is picking up some of that he's been doing all these years. Um, and I went through a Python fall and broke my foot and back. And Python is related to the gold is good of the stars. And that's what he was doing, the countryman god. And my writings that show the prolemur and all that from Avatar and all the aliens is that's the type of thing that he's been doing. Um, So you can relate it to the basketball and whatnot, but it's basketball is kind of related to Mexican, and that would be that it's the arc. or a spaceship. So he's not going to be happy. And, you know, I want to make him in a good mood. I know that sounds really stupid, but I want to please God in any way that I can. And I want us to do things that are beyond ourselves. And I want us to be super heroes of the women and of the situation online, and not just think it's all bullshit. Um, because if you have the mindset that you're a superhero, then you can do anything that comes your way, and you can save anybody and do anything that you want if you have that mindset that you are, you know, operating, that you know in yourself what is good and what is faith and what is true, that you know that. And it doesn't matter what other people think, or if this video is shot on a phone or anything like that, that you know what's right. And you know if you're being talked to through your host, that you know because there's someone else on YouTube who's gone through it and isn't lying. Because why would they lie? Why would they lie to get zero fans on YouTube's, and just to be making these videos for no one to see except for two people, two or three, or four or five or 78 like Mountain Dew Lemon? That's it, man. I mean, all right, so I'm going to zoom in on this. You know, I can help the women if you let me. If you let me, I'll help them, and it'll be more than a phoenix. It'll be better than a phoenix, and we'll get past the Revelation 17 and 18, and it'll just be counted as spirit, and the woman will be redeemed. I can do it if you help me. If you let me, I will. I'll do it. I've been doing it this whole time. And, you can call me the covering cherub or whatever, but this is a reason for all this. And I hate to see it go out like this, with the 18 being judged harshly. I mean, they went to get Bob Saget's car at the airport, John Legend, and John Legend said, "I hope to God that this was for a reason." That's what John Legend said, man. Like, you think they're joking? Like, they're not playing around, man. Like, they know if there's a death like that, and in what it read in the address, which was all 96 based to the date, and Gabe's tower based, all that which was the Twisters, that they know that if they know that this has to all get done, or it's all for nothing. They know that. And, you can talk about, well, it's prophecy, beloved son, yeah, he gets killed, man, like, but you didn't read, like, the stone goes to the corner. Like, it's not about, like, well, just let him get killed. That's not what God's about. That's not the story. That's not the story that he wants. He doesn't want that for us. God doesn't want that for us. That's why he's a far countryman, because he went to go get everything figured out everywhere else. That's why he did that. He fought all the evil and got everything going. He had it all perfect here set, and everyone's ruined it. So it doesn't have to be this way. Be a superhero. Listen to your body.